What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos get together to talk about nerd shit. This week, it's only two of us nerds. Me being your host, Ed Ball, and with me,
Miguel Sanchez.
And our good friend Luis is not with us right now. He may hop on, he may not. It's no big deal. We're just chilling. We're vibing. This week we're talking about Project Hail Mary for our feature discussion. The new movie featuring Ryan Gosling, which is now in theaters. And but before we get into all of that, we got some trailer talk, and then we're going to wrap it up nice and neat with what we're into. So, Miguel, how's it going?
Buddy, what a week.
What a week, indeed. I'm off to Mexico tomorrow.
You know what? The fact that you even said that just reminded me about how mad I am about that, okay?
I'm dreading it, man, with these airport lines, I tell you.
No, I know. What time do you think you got to get to the airport?
So my flight is at 2:20.
In the morning? No.
No. Yeah. And I'm trying to get there by no later than 8.
Oh my God.
I've just, if I've got like an audiobook I can listen to, whatever, I'm not going to drink anything in the morning until I get past security so I don't have to leave the line, and just really pray for the best. But
because you're from Houston, and apparently it's a big deal there in Houston. Denver's a little bit better, but it's kind of hit or miss.
If things get fucked up, Houston's going to get even more fucked up. If there's a storm, we're going to fucking get wrecked. Yep, if there's a flood, we're going to get flooded. This is the latest catastrophe. Thank you, government. Looking forward to that. I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, I'm on a jet plane going to Mexico. But Miguel,
let me ask you this.
Enough of all of that. What's up?
While you're in Mexico, you think you're going to be riding any wild horses?
I'm allergic to horses, so perhaps not.
So actually, horses you tend to stay away from.
Yeah, in the German word 9.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, right. And speaking of 9 and horses,
yes, Ed, baby, go.
Our good friend Martin McDonagh is coming out with Wild Horse 9.
What?
Yeah, the latest movie from director of The Banshees of Inisherin, 7 Psychopaths, In Bruges. There's another one.
Three billboards.
Yeah,
the big one.
Are we calling that the big one?
It's one of the bigger ones that people would know.
Definitely one of the bigger ones, sure. Not my favorite, though, by any stretch. So, anyway, he's back with Wild Horse 9. Miguel, you saw this trailer.
I did. And I wanted to talk about it first because I feel like this is, of all the trailers we're going to talk about today, this might be the most positive trailer we could talk about. Like, I feel like maybe.
No, yeah. I was going to agree with you. I was like, as far as Martin McDonagh's concerned, I feel like he's been like I like him, but he's also been a little hit and miss for me. Sure. So I'm always like, I'm a little wary. Yeah, but this trailer looks like a lot of fun.
It does. It does look like a lot of fun. I do remember I just watched Sam Rockwell's Oscar acceptance speech where he mentioned Martin McDonagh. It was for 3 billboards. And he was Martin McDonagh, I love you. If you ever want to work again, like, I want to work with you. And it was like, just seems like such an easy hit, for those two getting back together. I did get a little bit of the In Bruges vibe from this trailer, where it's
and a bit of 7 Psychopaths too.
A little bit, yes. But of course, a little bit of an invert if you know In Bruges, with Malcolm, John Malkovich, being kind of the wackier character this time around. I will say this: for some reason my YouTube keeps pushing. Do you remember that oil rig movie that Mark Wahlberg did a few years back? The one where they had exploded or whatever?
The Horizon one?
Yeah, whatever that one was. John Malkovich was in that one, and I saw a clip of it recently, and it was like the most like put on Southern accent I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. And I was like, listen, Johnny Malk, all right, we know you can do we know you could do better than that. And then in this trailer, it did feel like, there he is. You know what I mean?
That's the Johnny we know.
The male Meryl Streep. You know what I mean? It's what we call him. But no, this trailer looks like a lot of fun.
He's see. I always thought he was like a French Canadian actor or something, but he was born in fucking Illinois.
You fuck. All right. So don't even act like we can't produce him. All right.
Right. Well, no, it was more of just like because he's always he does
Is
have
that where
like
he
a very
gets that affectation?
unique accent.
Yeah.
I've always weird, interesting.
Could you do a John? Could you do a John Malkovich real quick? Do you think you could pull one out?
Oh man,
Louis good. I bet.
I bet. I'm trying to think of like a good line.
Yeah, what's the line?
I have a drinking problem. Fuck you, Greg. You're a Mormon. Thanks to you, we all have a drinking problem, or something like that. No, I can't do it. There is like such a like you said. There's very something.
If you closed your eyes and you put him in your ears, you would be able to tell.
John Malkovich. Yeah, exactly. 100%. That quote was from
it.
Burn After Reading.
I know.
So yeah. Oh, okay. But man, he does have some like great comedic roles, and this looks like it might be one of them. Just for our listeners, this follows CIA agents Chris and Lee as they face a trust testing mission from Santiago to Easter Island during 1973 Chile, which I can only assume there was some historical significance to that year. So
couple of really great lines that really kind of point to present day times, though, where they're in the airport. And he's like, "Well, ladies, what do you think about your new president?" And it's like,
"Oh, we love him." It's like, "Oh, but does everybody love him?"
Nice. Yeah, that's a good line.
This also, this has Sam Rockwell and John Malkovich, as we've already mentioned, but it also has Steve Buscemi and Parker Posey, who's having like a nice little moment right now. Tom Waits is in it. He was also in Seven Psychopaths, I want to say.
Okay, that makes sense, because that kind of blew my mind when I saw him.
Yeah, he pops up randomly, does Tom Waits. He's one of those kind of guys. But yeah, it looks like a fun little jaunt. Like you said, it does kind of feel like a little in Bruges-y, because it's like these two guys undercover, if you will, abroad. And one of them is acting out while the other one's trying to be nonchalant, or inconspicuous, I guess it was the better word. But yeah, it looks fun, and I don't know. This is expected to come out around November this year, so maybe awards buzz.
We'll see.
Maybe, but check out that trailer. Will you be seeing it, Miguel?
A little more now. When you first put it on the dock, I was like, okay, here's another trailer I have to watch.
No.
But yeah, as soon as I saw like Martin McDonagh in the cast, I was like, okay, I get the vibe, and it was a lot of fun. I do feel like, if I could be so sincere for a moment, I feel like we're getting to that age where we're starting to see like stories be repeated. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like, I try to remind myself, this is for the newer audience. You know what I mean? This is for someone who because I saw so much in Bruges and like Banshees of Inisherin in it. I was like, okay, and you have to kind of ask yourself, are we redoing this beat, or is it just like for the newer audience?
Sure. I mean, when you're a movie lover like I am,
go on.
You do tend to see 100 years of movies. You do tend to see a little bit of repetition. I see that for sure. But I mean, his last movie was Banshees, and I love that movie. I know you love it too.
I loved it. It was a great movie.
And Bruges was like one of those big ones of our youth.
I was watching something recently. It was a clip on Instagram where they were talking about what was the movie? It was Ryan Gosling's top 5 movies, and they were talking about
The
Drive.
Nice Guys?
Yeah, no, they were talking about Drive and how when
okay.
you were 17, this movie was probably really cool. And I thought that was a little insulting because we were like 25 when that movie came out.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like when we saw In Bruges, like that we were like those young, impressionable moviegoers. And there is something about that like age where you just like start going, oh, movies don't have to be Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever. Like they can be
absolutely.
a little more nuanced and silly and fun,
or dark,
and
even,
dark
like,
even.
Yeah.
You know, where you almost base your whole personality around those movies for a little bit, and then you have to go, like, oh wait, hang on.
Yeah, you're talking to the guy who basically his whole persona was that 100%.
This one was good. It wasn't on my radar. Now it is. This is going to be one of those that I'll probably make some time to go see. You know?
Totally. Wild Horse 9 coming out maybe this November. Another one that we got in. If you gotta have a shit sandwich, you better have the shit in the middle, right?
Right in the middle, please. Oh my god.
So let's get this one just swiftly out the way. We're gonna talk about it because, why not? But the live action adaptation of the 2016 Disney animated film Moana. Literally, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, pointing out the fact that that movie is now 10 years old is kind of mind-boggling.
Barely, you know?
Barely, but like, good lord, did we need a live-action adaptation of this
and
one?
in between those two moments, we had a sequel to the animated movie. We had Moana 2.
We did have Moana 2,
which back in our youth, that would have gone straight to VHS, okay?
Bring back that, you know.
We wouldn't have seen that in the theaters, but at the same time,
to.
They were pushing Moana 2. They were also filming this live action remake. Ed, come on, man. We could sit here and go 45 minutes talking the same talking points we do every time a remake comes out, but this even more so feels egregious.
Oh, very much so.
Absolutely awful.
Genuinely, like it feels like a shot-for-shot green screen remake. There's nothing that really feels very authentic about any of it.
Do you remember shot for shot Lion King when you were like, well, at least they made the lions look realistic or whatever? And you're like, all right, I guess they got that going for it. Yeah. This one, it's like, these are just the beats all through the trailer.
And it is not good. Every talking moment is just actor on green screen. Green screen. Yes. There's like no depth to it whatsoever. It just looks phoned in. And beat for beat, shot for shot.
Shot for shot, line for line, where they're even repeating the cadence of the lines. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And don't get us wrong. Moana is a genuinely, at least in this household, we love
Moana. Movie. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was a big one for us.
Which is why it's so hurtful that we're getting this so soon. And it feels just so blatant. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Even like The Rock, who's returning for the role of Maui, just feels like a little.
I tell you what, you could tell this decision was made like 4 years ago when it was like, well, The Rock is still pretty profitable, and we should make him Maui. Now, with the whatever about hindsight being 2020, it's like this should have been a totally different actor. The Maui should have been the standout performance. If you're going to do everything else shot for shot, like Maui should have been the character.
Yeah.
And The Rock, I mean, listen, everyone's going to talk about the wig, but I honestly feel like he's wearing like a muscle suit. At least that's what he looks like. And it just doesn't look. Yeah. And The Rock is already so big. Don't get me wrong.
He is very big, muscular, and granted, he's lost like some weight in recent years.
Right. And I'm not trying to, but it's just like, you just don't look like you're fitting this character. And,
right.
A lot of people have been saying it's an SNL, type vibe. And it's like, listen, if you had put him on SNL and doing Maui in this form, you would.
That's how he would look.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I've also seen some actors hop on the internet and be like, I asked my agent to let me read for this role, and they look like the cartoon character Maui,
Wow.
And it's just one of those things where I have this problem with, like, when you translate animated movies to live action, I think it's kind of tricky because I'm not a casting director. Okay, so what do I know?
But you should.
But I think sometimes you have to. It's a 50-50. You have to capture the essence of the character, but you also have to capture the look of the character, because when you go from this, like, I mean, think about Sonic a few years ago when they did like the ugly Sonic design, right? And then the whatever quote unquote fans bullied them, and then they brought out no, this is Sonic. Same thing with Mario. If Mario in these movies looked weird and different, if Mario looked like Chris Pratt with the mustache, you would go, this doesn't look like Mario. And so I just feel like when you're translating animated movies to live action, there is a bit of you kind of have to treat the character with a little bit of respect, you know?
Yeah. It's either that or, you know, if you're not going that direction, then make it something original and unique, like story wise. Like
total opposite, right?
Exactly, 100%. But when you're doing it frame for frame, shot for shot kind of deal.
When the crab comes in and the crab looks like the crab from the movie, it's like, what are we doing?
The animated tattoos. I was just like, okay, what are we doing here? And it's just like you don't feel the energy from Barack. And granted, yes, this is just a trailer. We're not judging this by the whole movie, but it does not look promising. And I mean, that was one great thing about the animated Moana, is like it was like a different side to the rock almost, it felt like, you know. And you felt that energy, and it was fun and it was lively, the visuals were stunning, but it just feels it's just like a money grab, another money grab from Disney. So a little disappointing. Not that I really had high hopes for it.
Let me ask you this as a fellow dad. If your kid goes, I want to go see Moana, what do you think? Or do you think you're going to like try to persuade her no? Or do you think
this sounds like a good mummy and like a mummy movie? I usually just like cast it off if I don't want to see it. No, that's not always true. But you know, if she does want to see it, we'll see it. You know, like last year it was Lilo and Stitch.
But Lilo and Stitch at least like offered something.
It had some heart to it,
And maybe Moana's going to do it, but I don't know.
That was like at least 20 years, right? Like,
right. There's something about, because like also thinking about your kid watching the cartoon movie and then the live action. There's like when it is something like 20 years, your kid can go, oh, this is new, this is fresh, this is
exactly
themselves. But when they go, I fucking just watched Moana last night, and you know, this
and
is
Moana 2 as well,
and
you know,
Moana 2. It's like, okay, I don't know. We're sitting here saying the same thing the internet's saying. We're not doing anything new either, you know.
This is touche. Well, this one is coming out in July, I think. July 10th this summer. So let's see where, you know, the question will be, where does this end up on the box office?
You know, shout out to Benny, who did kind of like, you know, make that stand last year with the summer box office, where he was like, Lilo and Stitch is going to be the big one. You know, and he wasn't wrong, you know, but I don't think Moana's going to carry.
I don't think it has that kind of weight. No,
because again, you can just go straight to Disney Plus and watch the movie.
No cute fuzzy characters front and center.
No.
You know, we're talking about these remakes. We got another one coming up.
And this is the one I really want to talk about tonight.
Me too.
Okay?
Me too. This is a big one. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that Luis isn't here for this.
Right.
Because to be fair, he and I have been pretty vocally against
this
idea. So as we all know, HBO is producing its own Harry Potter series.
Right.
And as luck would have it, today they dropped the teaser for it, for the first season, which is going to follow the Philosopher's Stone, or as you guys like to say, the Sorcerer's Stone. And this is due out in December, but yeah, they finally got some footage.
We've been seeing the behind the scenes, right? Like the them filming it on the streets, this and that. First time we get to see a little bit of footage, get a little bit of a sense of what they're doing.
Yes.
Ed, if I just could take a guess before you say, I kind of think we're going to land on opposite ends of this. You know what I mean? I think you're probably going to feel about the same as you felt, because the internet has been pretty uninspired by this trailer.
Okay. I haven't read much into people's feelings.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. There is a part of me. Well, for context, I'm currently. Lily and I just finished the Philosopher's Stone illustrated edition.
Okay.
I've been reading it to her.
Okay.
And we're currently reading the Chamber of Secrets.
So you have a big decision to make. You have to decide what direction you're going to go with the movie or TV show.
Well, that's the thing. But I'll come out and say, like, I mean, I've got a place in my heart for the movies, but where my heart is purest is with the books. And
okay,
because the movies really do fall off. I struggle with some of the later ones. I do not enjoy going back and rewatching them because of just how many liberties they take with the books and the stories and characters and all of that. And I think there's something to be said that, like, I think there is so much depth in the books themselves that you could fill a series out of it. It makes sense.
Sure, to stretch that out.
Especially as those stories progress, they get bigger and bigger. There's a lot more details, a lot more twists and turns, a lot more like character history that is thrown in, and it gets incredibly intriguing. But the movies got duller and duller, and dimmer, literally. And so I'm cautiously optimistic about this show.
Okay.
If only because it offers the opportunity of digging deeper into the stories. And for that, I'm excited.
I didn't realize, with the amount of shit you've talked about this leading up to it, well, I didn't realize you had a fresh take too, also, to be like, no, this might be the more book savvy.
That is my hope.
And if you think about it, also, just last thought is it has to differentiate itself from the movies hard.
Exactly.
It has to be,
and that's the thing.
It has to hit all the points, but it also has to fill in those empty spaces, and maybe that's where book readers and TV show viewers will kind of align.
Yeah, and to your point, also is like, I mean, the movies, regardless of how I felt about them, they're iconic. We were at that age where we were technically growing up with the actors, so that was something special in that, and as well as growing up with the books. But the movies were coming out when we were kind of going through that age, which was much more significant. I mean, granted, obviously the movies kind of slowed down and the actors got older, yada yada. I think by the time they finished it, they were in their 20s, as we were. But they did a good job, and it's hard not to think about Harry Potter without thinking of John Williams' score, the cast. You got Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and Rupert Grint, but also the bigger cast. You've got Alan Rickman as Snape and stuff like that. Those are like burned into your brain as those characters. Again, more so for us because we grew up with it. So this is, yes, very much for the newer generation.
Well, if you're going to talk about those bigger characters, let me ask you, when you were watching the trailer and you saw some of them show up for the first time in this new iteration, I'm asking genuinely, did you did you have like a reaction to like Dumbledore and McGonagall and Snape?
A little bit. I was trying to figure out, I guess that was Snape in the trailer. But he looked like he had like something going on with his eyes. I don't know. What?
The big thing about Snape, right? The actor, everyone's all mad. Not everyone, but
well, sure, yeah.
Believe it or not, all of a sudden Harry Potter got some pretty conservative fans, and they were like, "Harry Potter went woke." You're like, okay, right? You know what I mean? That aside, I just like it's one of those like snappy like glimpse shots, and action and all of that.
But I was laughing because, like, that shot of McGonagall, I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, sexy McGonagall this year, you
Uh,
know, like, and then Dumbledore looking kind of Dumbledore-y.
a little mix
Like
of the
me,
two of the,
yes, yeah,
Michael,
Richard Harris and
Richard Harris and
Michael Gambon.
Michael. Yeah. Looks a little bit of both, which you guys were kind of talking shit about John Lithgow from the beginning, but I thought he was,
Purely because, for me,
of all people.
all Harry Potter actors need to be British. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a British, but
I'm not going to
I
fight
do
you on
love
that,
I do love John Lithgow, and I'm curious to see what he does with it because Dumbledore is, and I know I'm not alone on this, but like Dumbledore is one of the best characters in the series.
We got no dialogue, I don't think.
No,
It
no,
was all looks. So is
yeah,
he going
yeah.
to go that softer approach? Is
If
he going to go
anything, the
the
only
slightly gruffier?
character who got any dialogue was Hagrid.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick Frost.
Ron Weasley got a little bit of dialogue, but
Yeah.
there was kind of like the moment for me in the trailer was right at the end when he was like, "Are you Harry Potter?" And then the boy goes, "Yeah." I kind of liked that. I thought that was good, and
Yeah.
I don't know. The internet was kind of tearing this trailer apart because I think a lot of people in general want to go, "This isn't my Harry Potter." But what I think is happening is, like I kind of mentioned earlier, is it's a new generation.
Yeah.
And that might accidentally be the thing that my kid watches and turns into a Harry Potter fan.
Oh,
So
I already showed Lily the trailer for it, and genuinely watching her reaction to it got me giddy on the inside because it does feel it's a kid's story, and
right.
I think especially towards the end of that trailer, like you said, it just kind of builds up and the adventure feeling and all of that.
Right.
I think it has some very exciting things going for it. I think it's easy. I'm going to compare it to like the Lord of the Rings and the Rings of Power, in that the aesthetic for this show wouldn't exist without the movies. And you could argue like, they could have gone like way different or whatever. That's always tough, and it's the same with the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, or whatever. They take the stepping stones of the aesthetics and the world that they built in the movies, and took it to another place, but like with those same similar threads running through it to have that kind of point of familiarity. And I think it was inevitable. There are some things that you just can't really avoid. Hagrid looks just like Hagrid in the movies. Doesn't sound like him, but that's okay. It's different actors. That's the whole point.
That's right. It could sound different, but you got to kind of look the same too, right?
And it's going to be something you got to get used to. That's all. I've been curious to listen to the audiobooks that they're doing of Harry Potter right now, where they've got like the full cast of like Matthew McFadden and that's all I know. Hugh Laurie, I want to say, is Dumbledore.
Well, let me ask you this: if you were deciding to get your kid into Harry Potter, because like that's a question I'm having right now, because he's reading a lot of books right now. Like, should I do that version of the audiobook, or should I just be like, no, I'll read you the book and I'll come up with the voices myself? I feel like I'll fuck them up if I do that,
I mean, it depends. I was very arrogantly like, I'm reading these to you. We're going to share this experience.
Well, it's in your blood,
And that's how, but that's also how it kind of got introduced to me. I was aware of the books; they were gaining popularity.
Who read them to you?
My 6th year primary school teacher, Miss Fall. She started reading the first book to us, and she did the voices and stuff like that. And that's really what kind of set it off. And what was cool was like she started reading them to us, and then the movie came out that Christmas.
The same year. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, how does she get all those voices so spot on? So it was.
I mean, that is pretty incredible if you could kind of ballpark that.
Yeah, it was very cool, and I that always stuck with my mind, and that's what made it exciting. And after that, I was like addicted to the books.
I have a similar, real quick. I want to say 3rd grade teacher was reading the first book to us, and I took it as an opportunity to like sleep. She was like, go around the room and get comfy, and I'll read you the Harry Potter book. And while she read, I was just like, whatever, I'm not listening. But I got it from the library, and I was like, Mom. You know my mom, all right? I was like, and this was before that, okay? I was like, Mom, we're reading Harry Potter. And she read it to me in just like the most flat American accent, and like couldn't pronounce half the words. Like, not to dog on her about that. There's some kind of words that you're like, I never saw this word before in my life. You know
That's
I mean?
made up.
We called Hermione Hermione for a long time. Okay. I didn't know how to pronounce that.
Sure.
But then, of course, my mom later, a year or two later, shifted into the anti-Harry Potter stance where it was like, this is witchcraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that like this franchise was so of our childhood. You know, we grew up with it. I knew kids who left school. You know what I mean? Their parents took them out of school to go see the movie when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was a huge cultural moment for us. So a part of me is like, I want to maybe read them, maybe do like, because now the audiobook has the new cast and it's supposed to be a big deal. Maybe let him listen to that. But I'm trying to decide, like, are we going to do Harry Potter the movie or are we going to do Harry Potter the show? And we'll have to.
I will say also, I mean, Lily has already seen the first two movies. We haven't let her watch the third one yet because it does take kind of like a big leap forward as far as like maturity and dark tones. So I'm kind of, biding our time and going through the books and then rewatching the movies. And then, I mean, we've already finished The Philosopher's Stone, so we'll probably watch the show when it drops at Christmas. But my point being was like, I thought these illustrated books have been a cool, obviously visual storytelling for her. I mean, it's not like trying to be book accurate or rather movie accurate. It's like just its own thing, different style, different look.
Kids to see,
Exactly. And,
I get that. The boy has been kind of moving into chapter books, and when the chapter books also have like a couple of those pictures strewn in, it's a little helpful to like give him an idea of what he's.
It's not every page. I actually have it. Oh yeah.
Show me. Let me see.
We're reading it a bit tonight. All right, so this is the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh man, dude.
Let me pull up where we left off. For right there, that's just.
Oh my god, dude! I might have to do that. I hate when you do things before me because then I go, "Oh fuck, I might do that too," and then someone's like, "Oh, you're just kind of copying Ed," but that's kind of.
I have great ideas sometimes, but really beautiful visuals. Really nice illustrations.
Something they can get lost in,
Yeah, or just so many little details to it that you could just.
Oh my god!
There he is. Shit.
Actually,
right.
Anyway, thanks guys for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
What an episode!
Tune in next week. We're going to talk about some crazy ass movies. We had a great time with Project Hail Mary. But until then, for me, Luis Gonzalez and with me's been
Ed Bull.
Well, we're finishing talking about Harry Potter, but Luis, you're here. Where are you at right now, dude?
Where are you calling from?
Luis.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The internet just fucked up. I'm calling from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm here for work. And what next question?
Okay, what do you think about the Harry Potter trailer?
There's a trailer. Oh, wow. Look at that. This podcast is going to give you all the top news of the entertainment world. All I knew about the Harry Potter stuff was the picture of what's his boy, Daniel Radcliffe, walking with his little cape.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. Yeah, it was the back of Harry Potter's cape as he was approaching the Quidditch field. So there was a trailer for Harry Potter.
There was. They dropped the teaser today.
Ed surprisingly loved it.
Okay.
Well, hang on.
Ed said this is the one.
No. There's some caveats with that. I just where I was just explaining to Miguel that me and Lily are in the process of reading the illustrated editions of the books.
Show him.
I got the Chamber of Secrets right here.
Beautiful.
And they are really cool books, and it's very exciting. So I showed her the trailer tonight, and just seeing her get giddy about it was very cool. So
does it look cheap or does it look cool? Like, no,
genuinely, I think the production quality looks good. I think it's going to be jarring for those of us who grew up with the movies. I was saying to Miguel, is just like those movies, no matter how you felt about them by the end or whatever, which I have mixed feelings about, regardless, they are iconic, with the cast and crew, the music and everything, the look of them, they were, very iconic. Luis.
Okay, question. Now, as you know, Superman came back and they were playing like a little ode to Superman music.
Yes.
Came with like kind of the Dark Knight. Did that happen with Harry Potter where it was like a little bit of like dun dun? Like,
no, it felt very. There's one thing I'll say about the trailer. It was very generic-y music. Like there was like a loud slam, and then there were scenes that were cut to the slam, and just like bam, bam, bam. But there was nothing that was very
dramatic and not like, oh, this is a kid's show.
Yeah. Right. No, it did still feel like a very kid showy, especially by the end. You've got Hagrid doing like a snow angel, which is very cute. I
think this is
just the music wasn't anything unique, or it didn't stand out. I would say.
I think it's going to be the show that kind of like, I think about like fifth graders are going to really watch this show and be like, oh, this is like, it's going to be their first time seeing Harry Potter on screen, potentially a dramatic TV show for like a young youth audience. You know what I mean?
On HBO, the adult channel.
Exactly. This is like catered towards, it's like, think about it like a young adult novel, you know what I mean? Franchise. That's kind of what they're, for like an HBO world, is setting up, This
is my cynical take on it, is just like, I hope that they produce this show at a pace where they're staying, like keeping up with the kids as far as like age and stuff. Because God knows I don't need another fucking like Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon kind of thing where I'm going to wait 2 years in between each series. And
well, think about all the children cast in the show. This, of all things, is kind of like forced to be like, and we got to keep going. You know what I mean? Like we got to, because
that's what I mean. I mean, the movies tried to do that. They would try to keep on that like one movie a year schedule.
Yeah.
And then they fell off of that after the second movie.
Well, it's not easy, Ed. You make a movie, okay?
Yeah, hang on. Let me go do that real quick. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm not totally against it. I'm open to it. Luis, my big thing that I was telling Miguel is just because of where the movies went, as far as adapting the books, I'm open to the idea of delving deeper into the books and seeing some of those storylines and plot threads come to life on screen this time around. And I'm really referring to like the later books, especially, and later movies where the movies really started doing their own thing and losing the plot a little bit. And that's when they was like really getting good and dark and personal. And I have a hard time with the latter movies. Like I don't revisit them very often. So, if we get to that point with this show, then I look forward to that and having like 10 episodes to really get into the books.
When does it come out? Next year?
Christmas.
This year?
Babe.
Yeah.
They just started filming it.
I know.
No, that was last year.
No?
They're going to be filming season 2 this year, I imagine.
Babe.
Yeah.
Right.
Babe. Well, I'm sure they've got a lot of post-production to do as well.
What about Peeves? Was Peeves in the trailer?
No Peeves. You really only got a good look at Hagrid, who gets the most screen time, Dumbledore, McGonagall.
That was Dumbledore, Ed.
The jury's still out, but he looks the part. Let's just say that he doesn't say anything.
Does he still sound like him though? Like
he doesn't. You don't hear him.
Oh,
no audio. The only character you really hear from, aside from the kids and Aunt Petunia, I'm a little about Aunt Petunia, but I know, petty. But the only other one you really get to hear from is Hagrid. It's being played by Nick Frost. And
it's classic, you're a wizard, Harry.
It's a little gentler. It's a little bit more Nick Frost, you know. Want to go down the pub? Kind of Hot Fuzz, kind of Nick Frost. So we'll see how that turns out. But there's a bit, like I said, there's a cool frame of him doing a snow angel, and just like the kid in me, just like, you know.
Wow.
But we'll see. Let's see. This jury's still out, but I'm not like hating on it.
I'll tell you this. I was going to talk about it with y'all, but I finally saw Moana's hair. Maui's hair.
Dude, what a ridiculous ass wig. All right.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. And I saw it and I was like, I don't care. And I moved on. I thought that.
Thank God.
Fine, whatever. You know, it's like I expected it to be really bad from all the words. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, that's what we're crying about? Like, maybe we need to like be worried about more serious things in life than this.
Should we, Luis?
Yeah.
This is like Luis's like call to be like, what's going on with Iran? You know what I mean? Like, he's
wait, we're at war with them? You know?
Hold on.
There's bombs?
There's elections? No, dude.
Wait, we're in America? Imagine.
No, dude. We already talked about it, but it's like, yeah.
My wait at the airport is how long?
No.
Dude, my airport at TSA, dude, one person in front of me. It was the smoothest it's ever been.
Yo, just wait.
I've got to be at the airport tomorrow, Luis.
No, so if you show up like half, don't waste your time. Because I got there, it was like, you know.
But Ed, if you get there super early and you go through security and you get to the gate, you just get drunk as fuck, you know?
It's margarita time. Just because of everything I've been hearing about Bush Airport, I'm not. I've been keeping an eye on it. Like, you're
not going to bush it.
I'm not going to bush it. Yeah. All right. So, glad you got to not watch the trailer for that. And now we're going to talk about a movie that you haven't seen.
All right. Well, I'm glad I was able to do that. And I love you.
No, before we do that, I've been carrying around a little fuck, marry, kill in my pocket.
Luis, he did mention this.
I was telling Miguel I wanted to hold off because you're both perfect for it. And we would all have varying opinions. And we haven't done it in a minute. And we haven't got much else to talk about. So a couple of weeks ago, we did fuck, marry, kill, different ideas. And then Sarah hit me with like the perfect one. And this is going to be a toughie, but I feel like it's going to be have some fun results. So fuck, marry, kill, Nick, Schmidt, or Winston.
Oh.
Okay, we're going new girl vibe. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Just to I need it Schmidt's the favorite one, right? Because that's what I think it is. No, Nick. Okay, I got it. I got it. Oh shit! I thought I knew, but I didn't. Okay, gotcha. We're going to kill Schmidt. We're going to fuck Nick, and then we're going to marry Winston. I'm done.
Marry Winston. Why marry Winston? I'm just curious.
He seems like kind of like a steady, chill guy. You know, and so like it's pretty much it.
And he does have a cat.
There's a cat. Steady, chill, a little. I mean, they're all wacky characters. Schmidt's just annoying, so we'll just kill him, and then Nick's fun, so you fuck him.
I'm gonna go kind of opposite vibes here. Is unfortunately I would kill Winston simply because I cannot deal with pranks. Okay. I am not a prankster. I do not want to deal with serious moments in my life being derailed by pranks. Otherwise, I feel like there's some chemistry here. I love a cat. I think he's super chill. He is a police officer. Moving on.
That's true.
I do. So if it comes to Nick and Schmidt, I think I would probably marry Schmidt because he's very stable. He's a little wackadoo, but he's gonna like secure that bag. You know what I mean? Your retirement fund is gonna be funded. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, for the fun of it, and probably for a little while, Nick's gonna be fun. But yeah, I think I would marry Schmidt, fuck Nick, kill Winston, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to go even more opposite.
Oh my God.
I think I would kill Winston as much as I love Winston. I can't get along with the cat. And thank you for reminding me about the cop.
I thought you mentioned the cop because it's like you get away with things. Like, oh, he's a cop, so you can be like, hey, you got a ticket, I'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong. I would love like a good old-fashioned Ed and Winston mess around. But here's my thing is like, I think I would fuck Schmidt because he's famously good at pleasing people in that way too. Like he even got approved by a gynecologist. So like, yes, please. All up on that.
Ed did his homework. He's taking it to the next level.
He's ready to go.
And then Nick, I would marry because like he's fun to argue with, but also lovable and funny and chill to hang out with. So yeah, that's how I'd go.
But see, Schmidt would be Schmidt. Here's why I think Schmidt's a good.
That's why I can't marry Schmidt though. He would get on my nerves.
Well, I think that's also the thing is I think every one of us has like a person that would be on your nerves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, Schmidt, if you lock in with Schmidt, Schmidt's going to make sure you're taken care of. You know what I mean? He's going to be like
down there,
no, and all up here. Okay, mentally as well. All right.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I stand by it. Unfortunately, Winston, I do like Winston as a person. I like Winston.
I mean, I love it. I think we all got
to rank me.
I think we all got to pick. We all had different ranks, which makes it more fun.
Yeah, and that was a good one, right? We all knew exactly where we stood there
right away, dude. I like that. In fact, ask Sarah every week to give us a fuck, marry, kill. Okay.
Okay, I'll follow up with that. I'll see what she comes up with next. All right,
Luis, get out of here, Luis.
All right, I see y'all later. I love y'all later. This episode might be late because you'll be like listening to this on Monday and be like, God damn, what happened? But I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
Love you too, buddy. Stay safe.
You serious?
Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, well, thanks for crashing, Luis. You added a lot to this conversation. All right, but now we're moving on to a feature fucking discussion. This week we're talking about Project Hail Mary, the new big blockbuster, currently in theaters, currently #1 movie in the world, starring Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, James Orwitz, and Lionel Boyce. From Phil Lord and Chris Miller, it follows a science teacher, Ryland Grace, who wakes up on a spaceship with no recollection of who he is or how he got there. As his memory slowly returns, he soon discovers he must solve the riddle behind a mysterious substance that's causing the sun to die out. As details of the mission unravel, he calls on his scientific training and sheer ingenuity, but he may not have to do it alone.
So I came home. And I told Kristen, man, that movie was so confusing. Like I was like, there's a lot of bits that I just didn't get. Are you telling me he wakes up in space and doesn't remember what he's doing up there?
In a sense, because he was induced into a coma for like 11 years.
This review is going to be...
Did you watch the movie?
I'm not sure. Okay.
Were you there when it opened?
Yeah, I was. I didn't catch the vibe that he didn't understand that he was like.
I think it was just more of like a blur.
Well,
this is just like the fucking Google synopsis.
Well, let me say this is like they did a lot of flashbacks, and I was like, man, they could have done less flashbacks. Like I get it, he's got to go to space. I didn't realize like he didn't understand when he first got there. What am I doing?
I think it was like genuine. He had forgotten. He basically got like sedated and then thrown on a ship for 11 years where he was asleep. Woke up and found his crew dead. I'd be a little confused.
Well,
too.
see, I caught that part, and I knew the part before that, but I just didn't catch that he was lost in that. Ed, go ahead and take away this movie because apparently I don't remember fuck all. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got to see it last night in the IMAX.
Oof.
Did you see it
Good
IMAX?
one. No, I saw it Dolby though.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Full theater.
Almost, dude. It was a jam-packed for our theater on a Monday night. You know what I mean? It was
Tuesday night.
good.
The IMAX was pretty full.
Dude, I mean, great word of mouth for this film. I can't wait to 100%. See it again.
Incidentally, as I was coming out of my screening, my sister texted me and said she was going into hers. So
this is the movie,
and she came out loving it.
This is that movie that's going to be like when we talk about summer box office later this year, we're going to be like, and why didn't this come out just a little closer to summer? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been a shoe-in, you know?
I will say, I'll go ahead and just say now, I hope this is one of those movies like Sinners last year.
I was
talked about at the end of the year.
It is not the same. It is not the same movie as Sinners, but it could potentially have the impact as far as like award seasons next year. Legs, dude. No, dude, I was kind of excited, and I do later want to ask you about, as a dad, would you take your kid to this movie? But first, let's talk about Project Hail Mary. Okay,
let's. All right. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't say like skeptical. I thought the trailers had looked good and everything. I like Phil Lord and Chris Miller. This is only like their third live action film that they've done.
Oh yeah.
Everything else has been animation.
But they're kind of batting, you know what I mean, 1,000.
Yeah.
Like they basically are hits after hits.
Yeah, but you come out of this movie thinking like, man, Star Wars really fucked up when they fired them over Han Solo, because you could totally see how whatever they were doing would have just worked a million times better than what they got. But man, this really was just like a slam dunk for me. I thought it was so thoroughly entertaining, so grounded, so visually stunning. Like the look and feel, the production value in this film, everything was like top marks. And literally, I think the biggest negative I kept hearing about this movie was literally the runtime.
It's a little long.
I can see, yes, like, but at the same time, I was thinking like, okay, so what in essence could they have trimmed and cut back? And sure, there were probably some scenes that maybe they could have trimmed down on a little bit, but had they cut it any further or in the hands of any lesser director or editor, whatever, I feel like you would have lost a lot of the substance of this film.
I saw a great clip from Drew Goddard earlier today where he was like, the writer of the movie, where he was like, I got like 9 out of the 10 things I wanted from this book into the movie. And I do feel like if you are like a fan of the story overall from the book, you probably are walking away from this movie feeling pretty good. As a viewer who didn't read the book and was just kind of like, let me take this in, there were moments where I was like, okay, I kind of get what's happening. I would like a little more streamlined. But I'll just take it as it is. I kind of want to see on the second viewing if I feel like, it's a little long, or if I'm like, oh no, I get it now. Like it definitely deserved this extra half hour.
Yeah. I just think that, yes, there's a lot going on. But I think so much of it just like adds to the, like I said, the heart of it, but also like the stakes and everything. I will say, there are probably like a few elements as far as like the cure or the resolution that they find to stop the Earth's sun from dying. Like I kind of got a little lost there, but I just wrote it off as me being too stupid.
Okay, that is kind of good to see, because I thought I was like, oh, I missed a step here. But
I think it's like the broad strokes. It's like so there's like this thing called like astrophage that is basically absorbing the power of the sun. It's like a space bacteria, basically, and it feeds on stars. And they're just trying to find something. They find another star that has the astrophage, but is being able to repel it naturally. So the mission of Ryan Gosling is to go to said star and see what it is that planet has that Earth and whatever doesn't have, and bring that back. Yeah, I think like I got it enough, like in the broad strokes. I felt comfortable with what it was. I didn't find it like frustratingly vague at any point. I felt like I was able to keep up just enough to still be able to enjoy it, and again, still feel the stakes involved in every scenario that came up, kind of thing.
Can I ask real quick? Talking about this movie, Andy Weir also wrote The Martian, which was adapted into a pretty popular movie. Did you watch The Martian? Did you watch Project Hail Mary and go, I want to read the book now?
No, but not for the reasons you might think. I just like I'm not big on like science fiction, fiction.
Books.
Yeah,
there was a moment
today,
Martian,
and I was just like, I'm fine. I don't need to read that.
So before that movie came out, I had someone recommend that book to me, and then the movie came out, and then there was a moment after this movie came out, and I saw it, and I was like, damn, do I just want to read the book?
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's popular for a reason, and there were some things that weren't, from what I pulled from the discussion of it, there's some things that weren't in the movie that could have been in there, and there were some things that weren't in the movie that they were like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't like stretch this out from the book.
Sure. Which is always like a nice thing, I guess, about that. But I felt more in particular with this one, I just felt satisfied with it. But no, it didn't exactly have me like, I came out of Wuthering Heights wanting to read the book, because I know that they like that movie basically only covers half of the story.
That is such an Ed versus Miguel conversation.
100%. Space and period costume drama.
I'm good. I get it. Like, it's not out of disrespect. It's more so just like, I get it. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're doing your thing over in that. But when it comes to the space thing, I'm like, ooh, let me lock in for a second.
I was just thinking, like, there couldn't be any more that I need to know based off of the book. I felt like you guys did a good job adapting that.
Well, I just think it's pretty crazy. Like, imagine being the author, and having like two of your most successful books adapted into movies, and then they're also well received.
Yeah. It's like, well, like, did you feel that way about Dune when you saw Dune? Like,
I never
did you
read the fucking book. So,
well, no, that's what I mean, though. Like, did you come out of the movies thinking,
I want to read the books? Yeah. There's definitely a point where I was like, oof, I think I kind of want to read this. And
Dune then was kind of an exception for me, but I also loved the movie so much.
Sean read the books, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm like, there's a couple people that I've heard that have read it and have not read it, or read it and didn't like it. And I'm like, okay.
Like the book, you mean, specifically? Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know in terms of Dune. So I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, do I want to read these space books? Maybe. I don't know.
Excuse me.
We're almost done. Yeah.
Sorry.
I want to throw out something real quick. Is that I saw the first trailer, and I told myself I'm not going to look into anything else about this. And this was like, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to watch any more trailers. I'm not going to read I'm not going to read the book. I'm not going to read the reviews. I knew there was some sort of like alien creature that he was going to meet. I was not expecting the whole movie to really revolve around this interaction between Ryan Gosling and this alien, and it was something because I didn't know that. I just kind of by the end of the movie was like, I loved this interaction. I loved this relationship. I loved not knowing what to expect from it. When I talk about the last half hour or so could have been trimmed up a little bit, depending on how you look at it. There was a couple like repetitive moments where it was like, I'm going to save you. Now I'm going to save you type vibe. But there were also these just like really touching moments where I think I told you where I literally like grasped my chest and I was like, oh my God.
I'm having a heart attack.
I can't. No, maybe. But more so just like this emotional impact from this like rock alien. And then come to find out, I mean, Ed, did you realize this was a puppet the entire time? Or not the entire time, but a lot of the time was a puppet?
Yes.
I did not. I was watching
because like promotional things.
Oh, you knew. Okay, so I was okay. But I just had no idea it was a puppet. I would have told you, I would have bet dollars to donuts this is a CGI animal.
That's crazy.
Because of course it is. Because of course it is, you know?
Right. Yeah. That was like one of my biggest things going into this movie was like I was curious about it, but like there was a part of me that felt like this could be just like a studio movie, where it is like that exactly. But like as we were coming up to its release, like I was reading more and more how they were endeavoring to make sure everything was as practical as possible. Like with the ship designs, the interiors, and all of that, like models and stuff like that. And I think. Thank God, because like it looks so good, especially Rocky. It works so well. I was a little hesitant too about Rocky because it's a rock alien. Like, how does that work? You know?
Well, and I feel like I've seen that in a couple other alien movies, and it just feels like it lends itself to CGI. So the fact that they like took this care to be like every like leg of this monster is not monster. Okay, my prejudice and bias is showing. Is like puppeteered. You know, all of a sudden you see like the care into it, and the fact that they were gonna like cast another actor for the voice, but then they realized like the puppeteer's voice was just like so attuned to the character, and it was just like, oh, I understand now that this character is like a lived-in person,
right? And I mean, to a lot of extent, Ryan Gosling's only scene partner. So, like, because of that, you feel their connection all the more. Like, and I mean, credit to Ryan Gosling. He's just, like, so much charisma already. But, like, he really sells it with this film. There's that moment near the beginning where he's burying or sending off his co-pilot and the other
the
engineer or whatever.
Yeah.
And... man, just like so many moments like that where he really just like gets you right there so effortlessly.
I read something recently where it was like Ryan Gosling is kind of a hit. Like he's one of those actors that could be a character actor, but somehow also is kind of a box office success. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like minus Blade Runner 2099 because of whatever, but I think that's going to end up being, it's already kind of a cult hit, but I think that's going to see a resurgence because of this.
100%. But like,
you know, Ryan Gosling, he shows up as the lead in your movie and it's like, oh, okay, he can carry this, you know?
Yeah. 100%. I think he does it so well. And I was even skeptical about him being like the scientist, you know, that's, because, God, he's hot.
Well, let me ask you this. Scientist to scientist, hot actor, Ryan Gosling versus Matthew McConaughey. Who do you think is the more believable one?
Well, to be fair, Matthew McConaughey is a pilot.
All right.
I got you there. Ryan Gosling is a scientist, so not fair.
There was
I know
a moment in Interstellar the first time where you were like, no, not you, but I mean like me. It's just like, I don't believe Matthew McConaughey would be in space at all, you know? But he's so good that it works, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the same with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. I think there's a ruggedness about both of them that just kind of you just enjoy watching them. I mean, let's be honest. But yeah, man, I agree. There's like a lot of elements that almost feel repetitious, but I think there's such a fine line of it, and I just felt like anything, if they really cut out like 20 minutes of it, it would have felt a lot more superficial than it does, and a little bit more rushed, like because of the length and the trials and whatever. You feel the importance of what they're doing, and also the significance of interstellar travel, and just like that was the cool thing about Interstellar itself, is the time of it and how daunting that is, knowing that you'll be like, just to travel to this place it's going to take 11 years, which is a third of the time that Earth supposedly has left, so it's I enjoy that element of it. And
one of the things I really enjoyed was that the filmmakers understood the book in a way where I saw a really great clip earlier where like Sandra Hüller's character, there was like a lot of allusions to what happened to her character and Earth in general as like the time went on.
Yeah.
And there's this, apparently this like they didn't really talk about it in the storyline, but like she apparently was like put in prison and like escaped prison, and like there's this whole storyline, and they pointed all the way to like a tattoo she's wearing at the end of the movie.
I did notice that at the end,
where it's like that tells a whole story of like a journey she went on, but they don't really tell it in the movie. And it's just one of those things where, again, when we talk about the book, where it's like, I kind of want to read the book because that's like where you can be a little more rich in detail.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love this idea of like, you can kind of like imagine what happened. And she tells it very clearly, very plainly, like to him when he is about to leave, is we're all going to kill ourselves, like the Earth, this is all contingent on us working together, and it's not going to happen,
right, exactly. That's and as depressing as a thought that is, especially in our world right now.
Right.
It's like, God forbid people band together for a common cause. Yeah. It's like everybody's in this. How do I benefit from this kind of deal?
Do you have a favorite moment from this movie?
Ooh, I think a few.
I want to hear them all. Let's go.
That one moment, as I said, where he's sending off his crew, but meeting Rocky for the first time, trying to get the message across between the two ships.
Yep.
And like, there's that bit where Rocky is tapping and he starts tapping back, and he's like, do 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 do, and then he's like, no, I'm actually pointing behind you.
It's over there. Oh, okay.
Like there's so many good moments like that throughout that I enjoy, and that's part of the like Chris Miller and
Phil Miller.
Miller and Chris Lord. No, Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Yeah. Goddamn. But yeah, just like there's little flourishes throughout the movie where it's like, it's funny, but not to a point where it undercuts the drama of the situation or the overall themes, but just like enough to keep it light and entertaining. So let's see. That one scene where they are simply observing the green planet.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is the most talked about moment on the internet, is when infrared changes or whatever. And it's just like, that was, so one of the things I told you was like, yeah, towards like the second half of the movie, I was getting a little lost, be it either I didn't understand the science or I was a little sleepy. But that was definitely a moment where like my jaw dropped and I was like, oh my God. And I didn't see it in IMAX, but Dolby really hit. And
I'm sure IMAX was great too. I mean, and the score by Daniel Pemberton is really. I started listening to it on the way when I was driving back from the theater last night, and I started crying again.
Yeah.
Just because it really is quite striking. A lot of the visuals are quite striking. Like the whole time, I was just like, Miguel had to have loved this movie, at least for the visuals. Like so much there. I loved when Rocky moved in.
Yeah.
To the apartment or the ship, whatever. And then I guess that was when they say goodbye the first time.
Again, a little bit of repetition. A little repetition.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is like again, there was one point where it felt like it was wrapping up, where I was just like, oh, that's almost too easy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I just felt it would have been like cheap. Like I appreciate that they went going to those, and they kept going. And like you said, apparently that's just true to the book, and I appreciate that aspect. It's just I don't think it was just like dragging it out for the sake of dragging it out. There was purpose to everything that they, pushed on to do, and whilst it wasn't like the situation isn't necessarily wrapped up in a bow, it gives you hope. It just really gave you a real, like the whole movie, what I think I really loved about it is just like it really did give you this warm and fuzzy feeling. There isn't anything cynical about it. I feel
like we talked about this recently, but also I feel like this is like a new wave of science movies. It's like the optimism where it's like there is hope. There is a sense of maybe we're going to come out of this. Maybe that's all about the world we're living in right now. And
that's what we needed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, like as Ryan Gosling said recently, just like the audience is not responsible for keeping theaters and cinema alive.
Sure.
That is up to the studios and the people making the movies to make something that brings audiences in. And I 100% agree with that. And I think this is evidence of something that you can feel the passion and the detail, the level of detail that went into it. It's just like pouring from the screen. And I appreciate that.
My final wrap-up question is Chris Miller, Phil Lord, the other way around. Phil Miller, Chris Lord.
No, you got it, Lord.
I got it.
You got it, Lord.
You got it, Lord.
Oh, you got it, Lord.
Did you at the end of this movie, did you feel like actually what I really wanted was Beyond the Spider-Verse? Where's that movie? Did you feel like when are we gonna get that? Okay. The cinema's saved. Movies are optimistic. Where's my Spider-Man movie? Okay.
And I asked them that question and they were just like, we're only producers on that.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how that goes.
Yeah. I'm sure it's in the works. It's coming out next year, right?
Nor
2028?
9. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, like what the fuck?
Maybe when you think about it, it's like, wow, you filmed a whole Ryan Gosling movie in between the last one and this one, and you guys are perfectionists about
maybe they needed to do this to get the funding.
I'm not mad about that, actually. They're in the
I'm really just reaching at straws there, but this is like Amazon Studios film, so this is a big hit for Amazon.
Oh, it'll be there in about 35 days, so get ready, okay? And I do want to wrap up this thought with, I got a big, I didn't do a, let's talk about this now, but to ping off of this movie, it's a bit of an apocalyptic movie, okay?
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Is there an apocalyptic scenario, movie, TV, book, real world, that you think you would survive or you would prefer to go through?
Right. Because there are some where you're just like...
Right away, you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm dead. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. Right.
Yeah. That's a good question. Like, the first thing that comes to my mind is Mad Max, but I don't think I would survive Mad Max.
See, no. Okay. No. Because Mad Max is like warlords, right? Yeah. It's like ultra violence. But talking about Project Hail Mary, also talking about the movie Sunshine. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, of course.
Sunshine. That's it, right?
Like I could do stuff like that.
When the sun goes, I'm seepy. I'm like, fuck it. I'll freeze to death. That's fine. Yeah. I'd rather that. Yeah,
I'm not going to be the scientist on the spaceship.
No,
up to
let me oopsies die on a frozen planet. Okay.
Yeah.
But Mad Max, that's a little extreme.
Where you're like fighting tooth and nail day by day. God knows what you're going to stumble across. No thanks. I just had a good one. Oh, well, I don't know if it's a good one, but maybe A Quiet Place.
See, let's imagine by yourself, no family, no kids, no spouse, you're solo. You could potentially be quiet forever, Just
be quiet.
Well, I mean, don't step on a twig or whatever, but it's like, let me, I could maybe be quiet.
Because like in a picturesque world,
apocalyptic environment.
I mean, their home on the ranch was pretty nice.
It's pretty nice,
They did it. They lost a lot of their kids.
Do you think you would see yourself like stringing up rope and bells and this and that? Like, I'm not a handyman, I might need to just die right away,
It would be hard to, like, my clumsy ass. I don't think I would survive that long, but like that's something I could make a go of. I mean, yeah, most apocalyptic ones are just so dismal. And a big chunk of it is because human beings end up being such shit.
So bad.
Yeah, like bring the dinosaurs back.
Nuclear apocalypse or zombie apocalypse?
Ooh.
Keep in mind, burning alive, right?
Well, or maybe if you survive it.
Or getting bit and, well, you're just running around dead.
Or you got the Planet of the Apes apocalypse. Does that count? I think I would rather be a monkey. Yeah, for sure. If I turned into a monkey, that would be different, but I don't want to be ripped apart. Maybe I don't want to be ripped apart by a zombie either. I actually, you know what? Let the bomb fall right on me. That's the thing, because like you think about like 28 days later or whatever. It's pretty intense.
It's not easy,
You're not gonna
Could
just
you
like
run? Could you run that much?
Not that much.
That like, much?
A little bit.
And you're skinnier than I am. Imagine me.
But knowing that they would just but like, hey, in the apocalyptic world, like if I don't have an inhaler, I'm fucked.
I mean, actually, I didn't even think about
like my chest is tight.
Imagine me getting further than you just simply because you didn't have your inhaler. I would feel terrible about that, actually. I'd be like, no, it should have been me.
Yeah. I don't know. I never want to be running from something my whole life, and that's the scary thing about 28 years later or whatever. Yeah. It's just like you're constantly having to worry about that shit.
For no reason at all, I did watch a YouTube video today about like what would happen in a nuclear holocaust, and it was like, here are the 6 different outcomes. And one of them was like, you're a nomad and you run from like life to life forever. And I was like, oh. And that was the more peaceful of the options,
Waterworld.
Oh, I'll take it. I mean, let a shark eat me. Fine.
Yeah.
Done. Like, let me drown peacefully in the ocean, I guess.
The occasional pirate, whatever.
Maybe. Well, Ed, we'll wrap up this episode. You got something you're into.
Just a little thing, and I really wanted to mention it because I feel like you would appreciate it if you ever gave it the time to watch. But
Okay,
I doubt you will.
I'm busy, but let me hear it.
So yeah, it's another British show.
All right,
It's called
guys.
Last One Laughing, and basically the concept is 10 over the course of 6 episodes, but it happens over, I think, 5 hours total. 10 comedians are put into a room and basically cannot laugh at, either at anybody, but throughout they are challenged with like one-on-one challenges or tasks that they have to do, or like presentations that one player has to do before the whole room, and try to deliberately trying to make them laugh, and with hysterical results. And it's all hosted by Jimmy Carr.
All right,
Jim,
fair enough.
yeah,
fair enough. What's her name? That's like where the curtain comes up and she comes out. You shared that clip.
That is part of it. Yeah. Yes, okay. I did send you one. Yes.
Okay. I got it.
Everybody has their own bit and stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. And if you get caught laughing, you get a yellow card, but twice you get a red card and you're out. And everybody's just trying to catch each other out.
You're doing this a lot lately, where you're like, you know what I mean? Don't laugh, traitors.
I don't watch Traitors.
Well, what's that one you watch?
Taskmaster. Yeah.
I feel like a few years ago I was watching reality TV and people were like, "No, Miguel, we don't do that." Okay,
this is different.
But then the bakers, the cake makers, the laugh masters, and now here you are,
the candlestick makers.
If they're British, you're locked in, huh?
I mean, a little bit. I do go out of my way just to feel a part of it.
Ugh. the way I hate you,
on that note, join us next week. We don't know
episode.
I know we're not talking. We don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but hopefully we will have Luis back, and we'll find something to talk about. But for now, it's been me, Ed Bull, and as always,
Miguel Sanchez.
Yes, sir. And until next time, folks, Lady Gators.